How is it going, everybody? We're back after a week break, and I'm feeling good, looking good. I got one of my community homies, friends from the Star Atlas community. You guys know him. We're always meeting up in Twitter Spaces and getting real deep on what the Star Atlas thing is going to be in the future. Right now, I've got Dreamin' Dragon. He's one of the leads for multiple different things on the club team. And yeah, man, how are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Moon Man. How's it going?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad that you took the time out of your day to sit and have a good conversation with me and talk about what we love, oh so dearly.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited. You've had some good interviews so far, so that's really cool.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. So yeah, let's just dive into it. I know we were talking a little off recording that you've got a pretty extensive background, and please tell us all about it. I'll be sure to shut up and just listen. So tell us about it, man.
All right. Well, my esports background is in my bio in a couple
Hmm.
different places, so people sort of know about that. But it started. I got lucky. We moved to this town so I could go to a school, and it just so happened that this guy Morty Greenberg moved to that same town, who was a world champion table tennis player, and he immediately started up Olympic training, junior Olympic training, and you know, at my school. And I got lucky at age 13 and learned Olympic discipline. And I learned, oh my God, I did not have discipline before that, but he beat it into me. And and that was the beginning where um, I was goofing off one day at practice, and he's there with a couple world champions I didn't know, and there's
Yeah.
like a couple hundred of us there, and we're all practicing, and I'm goofing off, and he stops everybody, and he walks over to me, and he starts screaming at me, and he says, "Name five gold medalists." And the Olympics were going, at the time, and so I like
Yeah.
rattled off five gold medalists, and then he goes, "Now name five silver medalists." And I couldn't name one. And he goes, "That's right. So do you want to be a gold medalist that everybody remembers, or do you want to be a number one loser that nobody remembers their name?" I mean, like, he was like
Damn.
cussing and screaming. And I was like,
Yeah.
"I want to be a gold medalist." He's like, "So does everyone else in here. And you're wasting all their time. Get the fuck out." You know what I mean? Get
Damn.
out of here. And yeah, I got put in the hallway for a couple weeks, and then came back in and tried to take it serious. And then he made sure to tell me I was seat 11 of 10 for the
Wow.
Junior Olympics, because of
That's
my
pretty
discipline problem.
crazy. That's crazy. And I don't want to stop you. I want to hear more, but that's actually freaking amazing. I mean, that's some serious motivation right there. Shout out to that guy. That's how you instill motivation. What a good quote.
Yeah, I mean, and in front of everybody. And then,
Hmm.
like, I learned later who the audience was. And then
Right.
I was, that's like harsh. And I guess, um, I don't know. Luckily for me, I reacted in a way that instead of like it hurting me, I thought I never want to be in that situation again. I want to be number one. And so around age 17, I was at a Star Trek convention, and I walk into this room, and they're like, "We're going to put a whole bunch of you at a bus and take you to this laser tag thing." And that was called Photon. So they took me there. And like my first game, I did so well, they put a ringer in to beat me up because they thought I was from a different photon. And so so the second game I did really bad. Um, but then I eventually started a team, and we became one of the top teams. And I did that for about 6 years. Um, During that time, I did medieval battle reenactments, like the SCA, but it was just like padded weapons. It's a little less violent.
Right.
And I competed in foosball. I competed in all kinds of things until we get to the part that's public on the internet, which is I got to esports. We were having a party, and everybody's in my basement. We had a LAN in the basement of 10 computers because it was 4 on 4, like StarCraft back then, but you have to have two spare computers in case one goes down, right? So
Hmm.
so we had like 10 computers,
Yeah.
and we're having the party, and my friend is playing Quake, and I had played it and dismissed it. But I look over his shoulder, and I'm like, "What are you doing, Pete?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm playing Capture the Flag." And I was like, "Wait, they have Capture the Flag on Quake?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Well, can I try it?" He was like, "Sure." So he finishes the game and he gets up and I sit down and I start playing. And my girlfriend at the time taps me on the shoulder and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" She's like, "So do you want to go to bed?" I'm like, "No, no, I'm playing Quake at the party. I'll be done in a second." She goes, "It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's left. Are you going to come to bed? Like, we need to go to bed." And I had no idea. I was gone. And from that day forward, I played Quake every day. I don't know. It was
Damn.
years. It was years. That's
Man,
when my
that's
gaming
amazing.
started.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I don't know if you want to say how old you are, but Quake was like in the early 2000s, 90s. Correct me if I'm
It was,
wrong.
yeah, 96. We got the,
Okay.
was it 96? There's my phone.
No,
Great
you're
timing.
fine. You're fine.
Yeah, around 96.
Okay.
So I started, oh, I'm 51. I'm old. I was old starting in esports,
Mm-hmm.
but that's when it started. When we went from Doom 2 to Quake, that's when we realized we can finally start competing with each other. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because we were doing it some in Doom, but it wasn't the same. That was mostly relying on ping.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
Do you miss
yeah,
like because I miss like the Halo 2 days, old Call of Duty days. I'm a little bit younger than you are. So like those were my early days, right? Of when, online gaming came around and or local play, right? If you went over to your friend's house, like so like those were my early days. And I just used to like the feeling back then, right? When you look back, like it was a good energy, and even the 90s was a different time. But do you ever miss those vibes that came out of those eras of gaming?
yeah, I do. I mean, yeah, that's a good question. I do
Yeah.
because like in Quake, when we first started playing Quake, it was all just private servers, and there was, if you got on the servers with the top people, it was like playing an elementary school. Like we pick captains, and then the
Right.
captains pick the teams back and forth, and a lot of people sit out, and they're not happy about it. But that's how like some of the top servers were at first, and so you had to become so intimate with everybody
Hmm.
that you were like, no, I need to sit out because such and such hasn't played. You know what I mean? Like, um, so that
Right.
kind of intimacy is all gone, but I don't really mind it. I mean, I haven't stopped playing. I've been lucky. I think that I've held off carpal tunnel and other things
Oh,
through
beautiful.
just discipline as much as I can. I mean, it's there, but I'm still going. So
Right.
I keep playing.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the beautiful thing about Star Atlas is I don't know how it is having carpal tunnel, but the beautiful thing is there's going to be possibly like simple things. Obviously I know you want to be number one, you definitely want to take it to the next level. When it comes out, um, but that's the beautiful thing for people that maybe have carpal tunnel or something else that maybe hinders their play in the game, right? And it's going to be you can do anything in Star Atlas, and what kind of to jump into it, like what kind of things do you see that are going to be amazing in Star Atlas that is accessible to like everybody, if that makes sense, if I worded that right.
No, that makes sense. I think
Yeah.
it's not all the most amazing stuff will come later, like
Hmm.
after we've built the stargates, after we've built something crazy in the red zone, and then we can build a city and it's like scary and safe at the same time, and we can put people on like a tree arrow or something and have a huge party. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but it's also kind of scary. Like
Yeah.
all those assets in one spot. Yeah, that kind of like on the edge of a volcano excitement. I think that's when it's really
Yeah.
going to be wild. And then I mean, even just having like when we have like big parties in the green zone where nobody can get hurt and we can just have fun, that's going to be really cool too. Just the metaverse aspect of it.
Yeah. Yeah, those parties in high risk, right? HRZ, the parties out there in high risk. You brought up a good point that is going to be a little bit risky, right? You're going to have like 10 dudes on your bombarella, that are just security, while you and whatever celebrities want to be there are there partying, because you don't need little people getting ticked off, or alerted that there's a party going on, and then now they're sneaking on all the ships and flying out. We come out of the party and we're like, yo, where are the ships at? And then all the guilds are accusing other people of having secret agents and stealing the ships. Like it could get crazy. That's a funny aspect that you bring into it.
That would be awesome. Yeah, yeah, security would be huge, but
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the gameplay is cool, and it's going to be fun going through it. It's once we start really getting into the Unreal 5 part of it, and
Hmm.
we're communicating back and forth like Snow Crash.
Right.
Um, that's when
So
things are really going to change.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So let's deep dive a little bit on why was the club like your place of choice, and why is that home to you? Why does that, you know, what makes you bleed the club?
Well, I found crypto gaming, uh,
Hmm.
I guess a little after you because you got into Star Atlas in August, I think, right?
Yeah, it was like late August, but I didn't have any understanding of what the hell was going on with the poster giveaways. Like I needed a couple of days to figure out what the hell was going on, and I only had like 24 hours to get in on it. So I didn't really dive deep and understand what was going on till like September 2nd, right? Couple days into it. But yeah, yeah, that time is when I got in, yeah.
Yeah, and that's like I did the same thing, except I went, well, I don't understand these posters. I'm gonna like just keep reading other
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
And so I started looking at other stuff, and then I circled back a couple weeks later, and I was looking at Star Atlas again, and then I read the white paper, and that's what all it takes, right? And then you're like,
Yep.
oh my God, what is this? And so then you want to go deeper, and then I read the economics paper, and then I have to get on Discord. And so I'm getting on Discord and I'm reading everybody and doing everything, and I'm having this thought in my head of Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden, and I'm thinking, I remember him saying, if I could just find the right set of guys, like if I could just be like the singer for these guys, that's what he was saying about Iron Maiden. If I could just be
Yeah.
their singer, that I could really do something with them. And I was thinking, God, if I could just find a guild in this game that already has everything taken care of, and I could just handle like the esports and the tactics part, that would be perfect. And like, boom, Vlad's poster came up, and Vlad's like, I own all the posters. I have 255 tier 5 land stakes. I have hundreds of ships. We have
Jesus.
business people and this and this and this already
Yeah.
recruited, and we just need you. And I was like, okay. And so I
Perfect.
like,
That's what I was
yeah,
looking for, you know?
exactly. Yeah, it was weird. And so I contacted him and I'm like, you didn't list like an esports or military manager. And he's like, okay. I'm like, well, you're gonna need that. He's like, you're right. I'm gonna need that. I'm like, okay, well, I'd want to do that. And then like within an hour, him and I are already working together, like refining the poster and working on club stuff. Like he immediately just like accepted me in and was like, okay, let's like work on stuff.
Damn, that's
And that
amazing.
was, yeah. And then everybody that I met, like Ogie joined the same day as me. I
Hmm.
think I was September 23rd or 24th. I was like the 47th member,
Yeah.
and Ogie joined the same day. And then like he's just immediately making videos, and like we're working together on his stuff, and like I meet Lloyd and Ronan and everybody's and Sam Scar and Bullet and everybody's working together and putting out stuff, and it was like,
Yeah, Lloyd and Ronan, I know. I don't these other names aren't really ringing a bell for me. Sorry if we have actually spoken and I've forgotten, but Lloyd and Ronan, I definitely know those names, yes.
well, yeah, some guys don't try to be as visual as the rest of us. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're cool just doing stuff in the back, but
Yep.
but they're getting more known. But yeah, that was it. It was just I was sitting there thinking, yeah, like I could play Star Atlas and I could do well at it, but if I could just find the right guild at the right moment, and then this big green poster pops up, you know.
Yeah. That's kind of how I got into the Final Frontier, just to relate is I wasn't looking for any home, wasn't looking for a guild. I knew those were a thing. Knew I wanted to be a bounty hunter, but was just kind of typing away like crazy every single day and night, in the Discord and Star Atlas. And, ended up finding or coming across the video that Atlas Theory put out. And shout out to Atlas Theory for this. He's an OG in the space with Ardo. And I was like, oh, this guy's actually taking this serious. This makes sense, because I don't know if you kind of had the same thought of like, okay, this game requires us to put real money in, actually kind of like a lot of money if we want to do something in it. I should
Hmm.
probably be with somebody that, takes it serious, and that's probably why you went with the club. And, um, that's why I went with Final Frontier, is because Ardo just seemed to be taking it serious. If anybody goes and looks at that video, and I was like, hey, man, what's going on? What are we doing here? And he was like, here's what we're trying to do. I gave him my resume, you know, and he was like, yeah, I got a spot for you. And I was like, well, let's do it. And it kind of sounds like that's how it went for you. So that's cool, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. It's 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 striking when you find out what Star Atlas is, and it affects you so deeply for the first time. And
Hmm.
then you start reaching out to see what else is going on, and you run into somebody like the club or Final Frontier, and you go, "Oh my God, like they've taken it way deeper, and like
Right.
everybody's cool with that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Excuse me. Um, Everybody is really taking it serious, and look, there's a lot of casual players out there, and there's a lot of casual teams, but I'm really amazed by like the scope of how big some of these teams are, how serious they're taking it, and how everybody right now, for the most part that I know of, is basically working for free. And we're just all doing this out of love and passion, right? We're all trying to find ways to accumulate a couple of dollars for ourselves. But I would say we're all generally working for free, and we're trying to uplift this community as well as uplift our teams and take ourselves places. And it's fucking crazy if you ask me. It's nuts. um, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's past working for free. Like when you figure like the pit stop, that was Vlad's project.
Hmm.
So he just decides like he talks about it and one day in Discord and we're all he's like, would you like would you use this? And we talked about how many people would use it, and we finally decided that like yes, okay, I would use it too eventually because I'd
Hmm.
probably be flying one ship and then staking the rest, and then I wouldn't want to take much time. And then Vlad goes and does stuff, and suddenly he comes back. He goes, "Oh, here's the pit stop," and so like, like I mean, that's a sizable investment in time and coding, and
Right.
so there's people putting in like all this free time, but there's people that are investing a lot of money too, and that's wild.
Yeah, it's really crazy, and I'm excited to see. I said it in the Twitter Spaces, I believe, on Friday that we had, or maybe it was Thursday. I don't remember which day. Um, but I'm really excited to see what everybody does over the next 3 months, and then like the launch pad and the just rocket ship that we all take once we've had about a half a year. Maybe 6 to 8 months of like building that foundation that we were all talking about building in 2022, and then what the end of the year looks like once we kind of got our feet, stuck into the ground and we're ready to launch. It's gonna be fucking amazing.
It is.
um,
It really is.
Thoughts about this Star Atlas video that just dropped the other day that we were all in there listening to and watching? Crazy, right?
Yeah, it's really nice to see. Like I spent a lot of time looking at it, and it's nice to see all the ships. It's nice to see the scales all worked out. It's nice to see that you can run around and do things, and it's amazing how the frame rate is.
Hmm.
I know there was some stuttering, but when there wasn't stuttering, the frame rate was amazing, and they haven't even worked on that yet. So once they work on that, it's going to be sick. It's going to be just whatever they want to do. The sky will be the limit. It's never been like that in game development before. It's always been the limitation would be the engine, but with this new nanite system, it really feels like the limitation is us.
I agree, and right, the human itself, or the human themselves, are the limitations. I think is what you were trying to say there. But just to touch on that too, though, is that the little guy that was running around, when he started picking up speed and he was running for what we believe is a Titan ship, and I think the X4 that was sitting over there, just him like curving in and out, and the way his strides were, and the way he was leaning, I was like, "Yo, that is probably the best movement I've ever seen by a character in a game, running wise." Because usually there's always just something. There's always something just a little bit off when somebody like a character is running in a game. But that dude looked like he, took some. What am I trying to say here? I don't know. He
I
took
don't
some
know,
tips
fluid.
from Usain Bolt or something. I don't know. Anyways, on to the next thing.
No, no, no. You're right. I mean, that's I made a
Like,
comment like he looks like Barry Allen, right? It's we're all speedsters. If that's a
yeah,
representation of us, we're all speedsters in the new universe. I'm okay with that. So.
yeah. So you guys got your logo on these new convertible ships. What's the name for them again? I can't remember the
The
name.
Lobi.
Yeah, the Lobies. How do you guys feel about that? How'd that come into play?
I have
Um,
no idea. I think that was I think somebody was. making a mock-up, and
Yeah.
because it's the display on the side, right? And so
Hmm.
they just
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
found our logo first and threw it on there because it
Hell
was
yeah.
convenient, and then forgot to remove it before it went live.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all for that. That's cool because I think Star Atlas did mention last year and a little bit at the beginning of this year that, they're really going to start incorporating the guilds more into the game for the simple fact that it just completely blew up last year and they were like, whoa, these people are actually taking it serious. Let's start involving them a lot more. So the fact that they're starting to throw like a logo on a ship in the marketplace that everybody in the world is going to see when they go to purchase one is that's pretty cool, man. That's actually really cool that they're doing that.
Well, they took that off the one image. They scrubbed
Oh,
it.
they did take it off. Oh,
Yeah. A
oh
lot of
well.
people were not happy that we were in the game and other people weren't.
Oh well. Here's me first finding out about that. Yeah, as you can see, my initial reaction was I was like, okay, cool. I mean, they probably had plans to put other guilds logos on other ships if people just would have not complained and waited around for a week or two. Um,
You
I
think
would
about it. Yeah.
I would imagine that was coming. I don't think they were just going to single you guys out, put that logo on, and then never put another guild logo on it. I don't think. I would assume they were planning on doing that, but oh well, whatever. People complain about everything. That happens on Reddit all the time. I don't know if you ever check out like Star Atlas Reddit. My God, is that's pretty crazy over there.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I'm on there. I post most of the stuff for the club on there.
Okay, okay, cool, cool. Yeah, because I started a Reddit account and I've been over there chit chatting with some people in here and there and posting my videos and stuff. But yeah, man, Reddit's dangerous. Those are where the keyboard warriors lurk.
Yeah, they're ruthless. They don't pull punches.
I swear to God, they are. So what do you think is gonna like be the future of Star Atlas and esports? I was talking to Cryptosonic, Jedi, and Archetype just in a Twitter Spaces not that long ago, about an hour ago, and we were talking about like racing and the esports for racing in the future with Star Atlas. What's your vision for esports in the future for Star Atlas?
Yeah, I mean, racing is cool because it allows people to, I mean, unless it's some sort of crazy death race, it allows people
Hmm.
to, keep their assets and compete with guilds and anybody, right? I mean,
Right.
you can be anybody. You can be you in the Final Frontier, me in the club, and have all of our assets and everything, or you can be some new person. And if we're all in Opal Jets, then we're all in Opal Jets, right? So racing is a big equalizer, and if they can focus on that and make it into something cool, and it's the first big VR racing game that we get, that could be wild, and that would be worth even in 5 or 6 years. If we're all still around with our polis and we're sitting there, what should we do? Well, this is the project we want, right? Like make this bigger, um, because I mean, PvP in the high risk zone, a lot of people are really amped for it, and a lot of people are really into it. But a lot of people are really into high stakes poker too until the tournament's over, right? And I think that once a few people dramatically lose large sums of money, and it's on YouTube, and they can't afford to reinvest, that people are going to realize that it's poker against the best in the world, and
Hmm.
I think there'll be a lot more negotiations and a lot less wars. But we'll see. You know what I mean? I'm not sure about that side.
Yeah.
Racing, I think, is the great equalizer, and that's where we can all have fun. And it
Yep.
doesn't matter, if I destroy my ship or whatever. It'll be just a racing ship versus a C-11 or something.
I think you made a really good point there. That analogy that you used with poker. Everybody enjoys poker till the tournament's over. That's amazing. Uh, and yeah, racing is going to be really really fun. I think that's gonna be really cool to see how they incorporate that into the game. Um, I actually wanted to ask you a question. I thought about it when you were speaking of racing. I always ask people like what they think the future of Star Atlas is going to be, and we all talk about what they've already done and what we could probably speculate is going to be maybe 80% sure coming into the game. But I think I want to change up the question and maybe ask you, just to get a different perspective. What do you not want to see in Star Atlas? I feel like that maybe hasn't been talked about too much. Like, what things do you not want this game to do? that you think would be super super detrimental to its existence in the in the gaming world?
Yeah, I mentioned Snow Crash a lot, but that book really affected me, and I think my perspective is the same as the one from the book. Whereas we're the early birds, and we're here, and we're trying to. Everybody has, you know, adversaries or whatever already,
Hmm.
and some uneasiness, but we're all moving in the same direction. Um, if Facebook, and we talked about this, or just somebody were to get into our space, they would not be moving in the same direction with us.
Right.
And so when people talk about like, there's going to be wars, there's going to be this, there's going to be that. If I have an enormous amount of assets under my command, why would I go to war with you when I could wait for Facebook to get here and make sure they don't interrupt our way of life? And if they were to buy, like we can invest in ships and we can have IDOs and we can invest more,
Hmm.
but we can't invest what Facebook could if they wanted to tomorrow.
Right.
And that's not going to change anytime soon. And so that's the enemy. The enemy would be, this is actually the metaverse. We've actually created something amazing. We've set up this decentralized world, and somebody comes and takes it from us just by sheer force of I guess capitalization. Um,
Right.
and so then it'll become a war, right? Like the movies and everything, and we'll have to fight back. And so that's really what worries me. I mean, it'll be a lot of fun until somebody goes, "Oh my God, I can monetize this in a horrifying way. Let me take it from all these guilds and give it to
Hmm.
myself." You know what I mean?
Right. It's kind of like it's kind of like family members. We can all beat up on each other and talk the shit and shoot the shit, whatever the case may be. But we do have to protect this core family and this first family slash community. And when somebody tries to come in here and change things and actually go against a grain of what we've all been working for, team and community, then yeah, we have to have the discipline and the respect for each other to band together and say, yo, we can't let them come in because those guys, they could actually rearrange this whole situation and we will have no control, and we'll all get screwed up. So yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my idea of a nightmare, especially like getting to the point like, my idea of a nightmare a long time ago was like people using wall hacks and aim bots, and you have to quit a
Mm,
game because you just can't
yeah.
compete. Like you can compete, right? But it's just so draining. And it just becomes not worth it. And so it's the same sort of thing here where like, okay, like we did all this and now you just bought $5 billion worth of ships, so that like I still would go to war, right? I would still go to my last breath, but it just is, that's the nightmare for me.
Yeah, it's a different game when we're all working towards getting these big capital ships and commander ships, and maybe one of us can grab ourselves a Titan ship, and maybe we could build a second one, right? But if somebody's able to come in and purchase 10 Titan ships, I mean, my God, it's game over for any of us. Somebody
Yeah.
like Meta and Facebook, you know, uh, you know now, mind you, they're obviously going to have crew members and people, pilots. So, just like Swags has said, and a lot of us has said, obviously that can create job opportunities. But then the argument comes, that could be good because it's creating job opportunities. But then we fall right back into the system of the real world that we're in right now, which is a big corporation comes in, they own the market, they can create the jobs. We then work for them, and decentralization and freedom all goes out the window, and it's just the same battle we're battling in real life, right?
Right. It's, well, that's, yeah, that's, I mean,
You
best
know,
case scenario would be that
yeah,
we're the Rebel Alliance and they're the
yeah,
Empire, and so we still have a shot, right?
yeah, yeah, and we hope that being early is a shot that plays out for us, because that is also the thing that we have on our side is we have a strong community, and we're early.
Absolutely.
We know the ins and outs, and I think that counts in the end. Um, where else do you want to take it? What else is going on in your life, and maybe in your past life that you got going on that I would love to learn about, as well as the community.
Um,
Floor is yours, homie.
I don't know what else to talk about. I didn't go too much into esports.
Yeah, let's talk more.
And I
Yeah.
got okay, we can do
If
that.
you want to, if you got the time, let's do it.
Um, yeah, the I guess that's interesting. I never considered that until now. So yeah, back to Quake.
Yeah, let's
I
go.
so I started playing Capture the Flag. I was horrible at it. I mean, for I'm really bad at games at first because I
Hmm.
fail every way possible until I learn all the failures, and that might take months and it's painful, but that's how I learn. So when I first started playing Quake, I was awful. And then when I finally got good, we created the Capture the Flag team and went to our first tournament, came in first for with Clan Havoc. And then I started playing against the best and like, steel sharpens steel. And so I'm getting better. And then we played Clan Nightmare and they wanted to play deathmatch, not Capture the Flag, which is just, die and respawn. And we were doing poorly that game, but we came back at the end. And so that at the end, Kilgore comes to me and starts talking to me about, you should be playing deathmatch all the time. There's no future in Capture the Flag.
Hmm.
And so he picked me up, and then I joined Clan Nightmare, which is you can find us in Urban Dictionary. And in Nightmare, there's a couple. Well, I implemented a couple things. I guess I'm going to have to skip forward because this is a long story. But I implemented a couple things once I got there. Like you had to show up at practice 3 times a week. You had to come in the top four playing against. We would do intra clan scrims. We didn't really scrim against other people because it was too easy. So we would do inter clan scrims. You had to come in the top four 3 times a week, and that was the only way you got to play in leagues or tournaments. And so I was the tactician, and I was a starter for 3 years. I never missed a week being a starter.
Hmm.
Um, and in those 3 years, we went undefeated for like a year and a half at one point, which is that's like my crowning achievement, I guess.
That's
And
actually
then
pretty cool.
after,
I'm literally looking
uh,
up right now. Clan Nightmare, night with a like night. You know what I mean? Like knighting somebody.
mhm.
Clan Nightmare. Yeah, I found it right here on the internet. You're not lying. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, keep going on
I'm
about it.
not
This is
like,
dope. Not that you
I'm
would
not
be,
like,
but you know what I mean. This is dope. I'm looking into it a little bit while you're talking about it. Let's go.
yeah. I mean, if you it like on Twitter or on
Hmm.
Discord, I have a link to my Steam profile, which has links to everything,
Founded
and all the history.
1996.
Yep. Yeah, they were
Nice.
founded before I got there. '96 is when I started Clan Havoc for Capture the Flag.
Okay.
And then it was right around '97 when I first ran into them because we started winning, and it was teams like Nightmare and Ruthless Bastards and a couple others that were like, "Who the hell are you guys?" and started looking for us. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
so
nice,
then, yeah, we
man.
played Quake, and we were too efficient, and we started running teams away, which is like we would scrim a lot, and we would make it clear my strategies revolve around I don't really like to fight the same battle twice, and I don't really like to same fight the same person twice. So I don't really make my strategies around resources. I make them around psychology, and I try to break you. So it was very effective back then because we were very organized, and other clans weren't.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, it was too effective. And so we tried to stop scrimming with the rest of the community, and it didn't work. And then we created the Nightmare Invitational, where we invited a lot of clans back for this huge tournament, and that worked for a while. But eventually, those of us that were good kind of destroyed the community. And
Nice.
and well, that's yeah, it's not great. It's
It's
bad.
not
Like
great,
I
but
yeah,
hey, I
yeah.
mean, mission complete.
I guess, yeah, game over, right?
Right.
And then, so I moved to Tribes for a short time because Clan Gib was playing Tribes, and so I went there as their tactician, and but that nobody played, and we were first in the world. And then I moved to Day of Defeat, where more people played, and we were like first or second in the world in Cal Invite. Sometimes we were second to 101st, but sometimes we were first.
Yeah.
Um, and then I stopped competing for a while. I moved into like Asheron's Call, and I was selling items on eBay. I was one of the first early movers in Asheron's Call, and I just had tons of items. Um, and I played Dark. I moved into Dark Age of Camelot, and I joined a guild called Blackthorns,
Hmm.
and we had 8 people in our guild, and we were the first guild to hit 1 million PvP points, 10 million PvP points, 50 million PvP points, and we would regularly command like 500 people in game and do like these huge battles. Um, and then I moved into World of Warcraft, like so many of us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
what a time sink. And I did like all the 40 man stuff. Um, these days I'm playing like team fight tactics,
Mm-hmm.
and Santi got me back into Counter Strike a little bit, but
Oh, nice.
I haven't played too many first person shooters
How's
in the
Santi
past
at
year.
CS go? How is he at
Oh,
Counter
he's
Strike?
good. He's
Is he
solid.
nice?
Oh yeah, solid strat, solid aim,
Have you got to play with
calm.
Michael yet? I know him and
No,
I know Santi has said Michael's always playing, and they have that little chit chat about we got to play each other publicly. So but yeah, no, that's dope to hear. Yo, shout out to you, Santi, killing it. Let's go.
yeah, he said that Michael sends him screenshots of his good games in CS:GO. So hopefully one day they'll play one on one. That'll be cool. Um,
Right.
but yeah, I've been trying to play Teamfight Tactics because, well, I'm at like it doesn't matter. I'm close to hyper rank and hyper roll, but I want to get the top rank so then I can tell Illuvium, give me a beta spot. Like I really want a beta spot in Illuvium, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. I've I think I retweeted it. I entered into or no, I didn't I don't know if I retweeted it, but I know I did I went through their link and, signed up on the website, and I'm trying to get in there because low key Illuvium looks amazing.
Yeah.
And hold
It's
on, sorry.
auto chess.
Uh
I love
yeah.
Teamfight Tactics.
Sorry,
I
go ahead.
every time I play, I'm still it's me and I'm there with Chewbacca and C3PO on the Falcon,
Mhm.
and they're playing battle chess. And every time I'm just so thankful I'm playing battle chess. I don't know. That's I love it.
Yeah, sorry, my girl stepped in for a second. Yeah, no, but back to Illuvium. Yo, that game looks amazing. I'm really waiting to play that game. I was always a fan of Pokemon back in the day, obviously, and they're doing like a little bit of a Pokemon thing. And I think it's like four brothers that are, at the top of the food chain over there creating a game. And yeah, it's going to be a stellar game. I think that's going to, a game like that, I think is going to be a big adoption to these mainstream gamers when it comes to blockchain gaming, because that's kind of like that League of Legends, Dota. It's not the same, but it's like that style, if you know what I mean. And completely different, but you get what I mean. It's more closer to those type of games than it is a Call of Duty or a Star Atlas, if that makes sense.
Oh
Um,
yeah, absolutely. I think
yeah,
that this is going to be a game when like we're on a long ship mission doing something and you have to fly for a while. Like you're going to be in your ship playing Illuvium, waiting to
right,
get to the
right.
next
I didn't even
and you're
think
like,
about
"Oh my
that.
god, we're here. All right, yeah, I got to go."
Smart. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, no, I would definitely double up on playing both, right? I think Illuvium's doing something great. How do you think that's going to how do you think Illuvium's going to run in the future? We know they're built on, layer 2 immutable X, but what does the future of gaming on Ethereum look like? Whether it's layer 2, layer 3, whatever they want to continue to keep creating, but what does that look like? I personally think Solana's pretty good when it comes to gaming with the transaction speeds and so many other things that they're doing. But maybe what's your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Solana's better. I don't think the solution though is, when
Excuse me.
I don't know if people were considering gaming when they made these cryptocurrencies, but they weren't
Mhm.
considering the full scope and they weren't considering how big it could get. I'm sure of it. And so I
True.
think like the solution would be something that can bring all the chains together and it doesn't matter. And
Mhm.
you can get around that gas thing and whatever it takes. We need a great equalizer. If that becomes one cryptocurrency, then so be it. But it would be a lot better, I think, for everybody if we could just have something that unites them all and then like translates it, um, like you know what I mean, like the way like UPS. You go to UPS to ship a package. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. It takes your currency, it translates it into the other currency. It takes your shipping size and translates it, whatever it has to do for all the tariffs and everything. And it does that behind the scenes. And if we could have something like that in the crypto world for gaming, then that would be
Mhm.
the best solution. And then you can just do whatever you want, right?
Correct. Correct. I think that would be really smart. Um I do almost just want to see some type of all encompassing blockchain that comes and says, hey, we're like fourth generation blockchain. Obviously, you have like Bitcoin, Ethereum, first and second. Then you have like Solana and Cardano, third. And then like a fourth generation blockchain come, and basically just say, like, hey, everything that everybody's doing, literally, you can just do it on this, and it's a one stop shop. everything will just run through us and we'll do it all for everybody. I don't know if that's possible. That sounds kind of silly probably when I say it. Um, but yeah, I mean, going between different blockchains and different, all these different wallets and sites and just all it's if you're not into crypto, man, it can be a lot.
Yeah, it's too
It could
much.
be a lot.
I don't think you sound crazy at all. And I mean, maybe like Star Atlas will actually be that solution at first. Like,
Right.
there'll be a Final Frontier token, there'll be a Club token, there'll be Solana, there'll be Ethereum, and Final, the Star Atlas is going to be the ones that translate it all for us. And I know Big Time talks about that with they want to make a wallet to make it seamless. Like that's a huge thing for them. And so that's where we're headed. It won't be long. And once somebody does it, they're going to share it, and then we're all going to be doing it. So.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely look forward to the future. And I just made a comment on, one of the Star Atlas posts, I think on the video of, the 2-minute clip they released the other day. I was like, hey, phenomenal work, team. This is freaking amazing. But if you guys don't mind, could you also build a time machine real quick on the side and portal us all through till like 5 years from now when the game is ready? Because I'm ready to play it. As much as I love this whole process, um, I'm surely just feeling the same way everybody else is. Like, I just want to fucking play this game, because I just know it's going to be amazing.
Wait. If we have a time machine, first let's get in it and go back to just before the IDO and buy in. Then we'll go
Hey,
forward 5 years.
yeah, let's go back and then forward. Nice, man.
Yeah. Then we
That's a
can
good
like,
call.
we're like, oh my God, look at all this Polis and Atlas. Yay.
Right. That's a good play. That's a good play. I like that. Maybe we'll have to, I don't know. I don't know what I was about to say. Probably something, nothing good, nothing good.
We need a time
Something
machine
silly.
first.
Yeah, we just need a time machine. That's what we need to work on first, and then we'll figure out what plan B and C and D are.
Yep.
But hey, man, if you've got anything else to tell the people, surely definitely tell them, where they can find you, how to maybe be a part of the club if that's something that they're interested in, and just shill yourself and let the people know. But most of all, just thank you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to speak with me, and please, the platform's yours. Shill yourself and let them know what you got going on and where they can find you.
Yeah, thanks. It was fun. It was nice talking to you and getting to
Yeah,
know you better.
this was
Um,
refreshing.
yeah, it was nice. Yeah, you can find us. I guess if I have to, it's discord.gg/the-sa-club. Hope you can link that. That's not
Yeah,
it's not
I'll
easy to get
definitely be
to.
putting your links and the club links in the description
Thank you.
for
Yeah,
anybody
and
listening.
yeah, we can. Anybody can show up. Anybody can get verified on our server. We have a lot of information there, and we're happy to share it. And if you're like Moonman posts all his stuff, you post all your stuff on our server all the time,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's really cool. And so everybody's welcome. The main things that we embody from our mission statement is the financial and social inclusion of everyone, and that we give back to our community. And so it's a work in progress and we're learning a lot just like everybody, but that's what we stand for. And that's what we're always going to stand for. And so anybody can show up from any guild. Anybody can ask us any questions at any time. We love to get feedback about all the thing we're working on. And we would love constructive feedback. Don't pull any punches. And yeah, like Moonman said, we're in the same spaces together. We're in the town halls, even if we don't talk. And we're always around. So get involved, find a guild, and join up. Star Atlas is going to be an amazing ride for all of us.
hell yeah, man. Yeah, and if anybody's still listening, I hope you guys are, man. Listen to these podcast episodes, man. They're good. Yeah, everything will be linked in the description. No worries there. But yeah, man, you guys got a really good thing going over there at the club. Me personally, I've always been a fan of every guild in the space, and I love seeing us all grow. There's a lot of BSers out there. There's a lot of haters on Reddit. But in due time, I think they'll all jump on board, or I don't know. But either way, man, I really appreciate all that you guys are doing for the community. I really appreciate this talk with you, and I'm definitely looking forward to the future talks in Twitter Spaces, and seeing all that you have to do in the future, and all the growth you have. So yeah, man, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate all the work you guys are doing too. And I mean, everything that we do helps each other, and that's
Facts.
amazing. So yeah, that's really cool.
Definitely. All right, everybody. Well, you heard it here first. Um, I don't know what you heard here first, but the guild is the club is something to keep your eyes on, man. They're doing something special over there. Take a look at Dream and Dragon and all that he's doing. And yeah, man, just uplift the community, everybody. I appreciate you listening to this episode, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much, Dream and Dragon.
Thank you.
Thank you.